Welcome back to Designing Your Future Self. If there is one thing that the last several years have made abundantly clear, it is that uncertainty is not the exception in our professional lives. It is the condition. Layoffs, restructuring, industry disruption, shifting leadership, economic volatility. The pace of change in the professional world has never been faster, and there is every indication that it will continue to accelerate. So the question is not how to avoid the uncertainty. The question is, how do you build the kind of resilient mindset that allows you to not just survive uncertainty, but to thrive in it? That is what today's episode is about. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Designing Your Future Self podcast with Andrea C. McLean. This is the space where people are inspired to take charge of their lives, embrace their authentic selves, and design a future filled with confidence, purpose, and fulfillment. Hosted by board-certified life, career, and executive coach, Andrea C. McLean, each episode is packed with empowering strategies and practical tools to help you unlock your potential and create the life you've always envisioned. So, get ready to explore new possibilities, overcome obstacles, and step boldly into the future you deserve. Your journey starts now.
Let me start by redefining resilience, because I think most people have it wrong. Resilience is not toughness. It is not the ability to push through pain without showing it. It is not gritting your teeth and powering forward regardless of the cost. That is endurance. And while endurance has its place, it is not resilience. Resilience is the capacity to adapt, recover, and grow in the face of adversity, challenge, and change. It is not about bouncing back to who you were before the difficulty. It is about bouncing forward, emerging from the challenge with new perspective, new capability, and new clarity. The most resilient leaders I have coached are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who have developed a relationship with struggle that allows them to move through it without being defined by it. And here's the important thing. Resilience is not a personality trait that you either have or you don't have. It is a skill, a practice, a set of habits and perspectives that can be deliberately developed. You can build your resilience starting today. So why do some professionals crumble under uncertainty while others seem to navigate it with relative steadiness? In my coaching work, I've identified 4 factors that make professionals particularly vulnerable to uncertainty. The first is an overattachment to a specific outcome. When your sense of safety and success is tied to one particular path, one role, one company, one trajectory, any disruption to that path feels catastrophic. Resilience requires what I call outcome flexibility. The ability to hold your goals firmly while remaining open to the multiple paths for reaching them. The second is a fixed identity. I am my job title. I am my company. I am my role. When your identity is fused with a specific professional circumstance, any change to that circumstance feels like a threat to who you are. Resilient professionals build their identity around their values, their capabilities, and their character, things that remain stable regardless of external circumstances. The third is a low tolerance for discomfort. Uncertainty is uncomfortable by definition. Professionals who have spent their careers in relatively stable, predictable environments can find the discomfort of uncertainty genuinely destabilizing. Building resilience requires building a higher tolerance for not knowing and trusting your ability to navigate what comes next. And the fourth is isolation. Uncertainty is significantly harder to navigate alone. One of the most consistent findings in resilience research is that social connection, having people who know what you're going through and who believe in your capacity to navigate it is one of the strongest predictors of resilience. You're not meant to do this alone. The F.L.A.P method, face life's adversities and persevere, is at its core a resilience framework. Because perseverance is not passive. It is not simply waiting for things to get better. It is the active, intentional choice to keep moving forward, not in spite of uncertainty, but through it. And the facing piece is critical here, because one of the most common responses to uncertainty is avoidance, putting your head down, not thinking about what might change, hoping it resolves itself. But avoidance doesn't reduce uncertainty. It just reduces your preparation for it. Facing uncertainty means acknowledging it clearly, assessing your options honestly, making proactive decisions about your career rather than waiting for circumstances to make them for you. The professionals who navigate uncertainty best are not the ones who are most certain about the future. They're the ones who are most certain about themselves, meaning their values, their capabilities, their resilience, regardless of what the future holds. Here are 5 specific practices for building a resilient mindset that allows you to thrive in uncertainty. Practice number 1, anchor to your values. When everything external is shifting, your values are the one thing that remains stable. Identify your 3 to 5 core values. Write them down. And when uncertainty feels destabilizing, return to those values and ask, am I living and leading in alignment with these? If yes, you are on solid ground, regardless of the external circumstances. Practice 2. Build your skills aggressively. One of the most powerful antidotes to uncertainty is capability. The more skilled, adaptable, and knowledgeable you are, the less any single circumstance can derail you. Invest in your development consistently, not when you feel stable, but especially when you don't. Practice 3. Maintain perspective. In the middle of uncertainty, things often feel more permanent and more catastrophic than they actually are. A useful question: will this matter in 5 years? Often the answer is no. And that perspective doesn't minimize what you're going through right now. It just prevents temporary circumstances from feeling like permanent verdicts. Practice 4. Control what you can control. Uncertainty is by definition about things outside your control. Resilient professionals redirect their energy from what they cannot control to what they can. Their effort, their attitude, their relationships, their skills, their visibility, their next move. That redirection is both practically useful and psychologically stabilizing. And practice 5, seek support. A coach, a mentor, a trusted colleague, a peer group. Someone who can hold perspective for you when yours gets clouded. Someone who believes in your capacity to navigate this, even when you're not so sure you do. Resilience is not built in isolation. It is built in community. Here is your assignment. Identify one area of uncertainty in your career right now. Then ask yourself, what is within my control in this situation? Make a list and choose one thing from that list to act on this week. That one act of intentional agency in the face of uncertainty is the beginning of your resilience practice. The Promotion Ready Leader Workbook includes work on navigating uncertainty as part of your 90-day action plan. Because promotion journeys are rarely linear, and resilience is part of the strategy. It's $47 and the link is in the description. Subscribe for episode 8. Next week, we're talking about shifting from perfectionism to progress. I believe in your future self. See you next Wednesday.